What if I told you that to truly find yourself, you need to disappear? This isn't about running away or vanishing into thin air. It's about retreating from the noise, stepping back from the distractions and expectations that have consumed your time and attention. What I'm talking about is a deliberate and quiet decision to focus on yourself in a way that feels almost strange in today's world. A few years ago, I was lost. Maybe you've felt it too. I woke up every day feeling like I was on a treadmill, constantly moving but never getting anywhere. Between work, social media, and the endless chase to keep up, I felt disconnected from myself. I was drowning in expectations that weren't even my own. One night, as I scrolled mindlessly through my phone, I caught myself comparing my life to people I didn't even know. Their success, their joy, it made me feel smaller somehow. That's when the question hit me: whose life am I living? I realized that I had been living for others, chasing approval, striving for validation, and molding myself into what I thought I should be. It wasn't just exhausting, it was suffocating. So I made a choice. I didn't announce it or explain it to anyone. I didn't ask for permission or approval. I simply began pulling back, little by little. I logged off social media for a week. I started journaling every morning instead of checking my notifications. I began carving out time to reflect on who I was and what I wanted, not for anyone else, but for me. At first it felt strange. The silence was uncomfortable, almost unsettling. But over time I started to hear something I hadn't heard in years, my own voice. That decision to disappear in the quietest, most intentional way changed my life. It wasn't about abandoning my responsibilities or running away from the world. It was about creating space to rediscover myself. And that's what I want to share with you today. This isn't just a story about me. It's a challenge for you. If you've been feeling lost, overwhelmed, or stuck in the patterns of your life, disappearing might be exactly what you need to transform. By the end of this journey, you'll see that disappearing isn't about hiding. It's about stepping back so you can step forward with purpose. It's about tuning out the noise to hear what truly matters. So, are you ready to take the first step? Before we begin, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing videos like this. Let's get started. Why life feels stuck. Why does it feel like no matter what you do, you're not moving forward? Today it's easy to feel stuck. Every day is a constant push and pull of responsibilities, expectations, and distractions. You wake up already behind, trying to catch up on messages, emails, and deadlines. And then there's the ever-present scroll, the curated lives of others on social media that make you question your own. But here's the truth. You're not stuck because you're not trying hard enough. You're stuck because your energy is being pulled in too many directions. Think about it. How often do you start your day already in reaction mode? You open your phone and suddenly you're bombarded with everyone else's priorities. Notifications, emails, and the latest drama on social media take over your mental bandwidth before you've even had time to think about what you need. It's not your fault. We live in a world designed to keep us distracted. Social media, for instance, is engineered to keep you scrolling. The endless feed, the likes, the comments. They're all triggers for dopamine hits that make you feel good in the moment, but leave you emptier in the long run. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But how can you harness that power when your mind is constantly flooded with noise?" The problem isn't just the distractions themselves, it's what they're stealing from you. Every time you compare your life to someone else's, you lose a little bit of your vision. Every time you say yes to something you don't truly care about, you say no to something that could have been meaningful. Life starts to feel stuck because you're not living intentionally. Instead of being the creator of your story, you've become a passive participant. The result is that you start to feel overwhelmed, overworked, and disconnected from the things that truly matter. And it's not just about distractions, it's also about expectations. Society has a way of placing invisible rules on us. By this age, you're supposed to have this job. By that age, you're supposed to have this house or that relationship. When you fall short of those expectations, even if they're completely arbitrary, it's easy to feel like you've failed. But what if the problem isn't that you're failing? What if the problem is that you're chasing the wrong goals altogether? Let's look at our mind as a garden. When left untended, weeds of self-doubt, distraction, and societal pressure take over. They choke out the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. The more you let them grow, the harder it is to see what's underneath. But here's the good news. You can take control. The first step is recognizing that the life you're living isn't entirely yours. It's a patchwork of expectations, comparisons, and habits you've inherited without question. You don't have to keep living this way. You don't have to stay stuck. But to change, you'll need to do something radical. Step away from the noise. Stop reacting to the world around you and start listening to the world within you. You might not be able to change the distractions or pressures overnight, but you can choose how much power you give them. It starts with one small decision: to disappear, not forever, but just long enough to reset and rediscover what truly matters to you. The decision to disappear. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does it mean to disappear? To disappear doesn't mean vanishing completely or abandoning your life. Instead, disappearing is about stepping back, not from your responsibilities, but from the noise and distractions that keep you stuck. It's about creating intentional space for clarity and transformation. The first step is understanding why disappearing matters. When you're constantly surrounded by distractions, social media, endless notifications, or even the expectations of those around you, it's almost impossible to hear your thoughts. Your inner voice, the one that knows what you truly want, gets drowned out. To disappear is to reclaim your focus. But let's be clear, disappearing is not about isolation or running away. It's about looking inward and finding the courage to confront yourself. It's about quietly stepping off the stage of public performance so you can start living authentically. Pulling back can feel terrifying. Why? Because we've been conditioned to believe that constant connection equals value. The more visible you are, the more you're winning, right? Social media reinforces this by rewarding visibility with likes, followers, and validation. But visibility isn't the same as growth. In fact, it often keeps us stuck. The more you focus on performing for others, the less energy you have for genuine transformation. Take a moment to think about this. How much of your life is lived for others? How often do you make choices based on what you think will impress, please, or satisfy someone else? Disappearing is about breaking free from that cycle. It's about permitting yourself to step back, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Are there benefits to disappearing? When you disappear, something remarkable happens. You start to see what really matters. With fewer distractions, you can focus on your values, goals, and desires. By detaching from the need for external validation, you free yourself to live authentically. You'll also find that you have more energy for the things that truly matter without the constant drain of comparison and performance. Disappearing creates space for growth. Think of it like pruning a tree. By cutting back on what's unnecessary, you allow new, healthy growth to take root. Even great minds throughout history understood this. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, practiced solitude to gain perspective. In his writings, he often reflected on the importance of stepping back from the chaos of the world to focus on what truly matters. If one of the most powerful men in history found value in disappearing, why shouldn't you? Now, if you're wondering how to start this process, I'll tell you what I tell everyone who comes up to me with the same question. Start small. You don't need to make dramatic changes overnight. Take 2 days to disconnect from social media, email, and other digital distractions. Use this time to journal, reflect, or simply enjoy the silence. Let people know that you're taking time for yourself. You don't have to explain why. Just say you need space. If possible, dedicate time for solitude. It doesn't matter if it's 10 minutes in the morning or an hour in the evening. Carve out time each day to be alone with your thoughts. These small acts might feel insignificant, but they're powerful. Each one is a step toward reclaiming your life. Think about anyone who has undergone a major transformation. Often, their story includes a period of retreat, a time when they stepped away from the spotlight to focus on themselves. One example is J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling spent years writing in solitude without sharing her work publicly. Her decision to focus on her craft away from external pressures allowed her to create something extraordinary. Your transformation doesn't have to be as dramatic, but the principle is the same. Disappearing gives you the space to rebuild, refocus, and ultimately come back stronger. It's easy to keep going as you are, to stay visible, busy, and distracted. But real courage lies in stepping back. It's in saying, I need this time for myself, no matter how it looks to others. Disappearing isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It means you're willing to confront the discomfort of silence and solitude, because you know that's where transformation begins. Transforming through reflection. True transformation begins in silence. When you remove the distractions and give yourself the gift of stillness, you create the conditions for deep reflection. Reflection isn't just a passive exercise. It's an active journey inward, where you uncover the truths about who you are, what you want, and what's holding you back. It's in this space of quiet honesty that transformation begins. Let's take you're trying to navigate a ship through foggy waters. Without clear visibility, you could end up drifting aimlessly, wasting time and energy. Reflection clears the fog. It helps you see where you are and chart a path forward. But why is it so hard to reflect? Modern life doesn't encourage us to sit with ourselves. We're taught to keep moving, keep achieving, keep chasing the next thing. But as Marcus Aurelius wrote, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Reflection is how you create that retreat. When you stop and take inventory of your life, you gain clarity. You begin to notice the patterns that keep you stuck, the habits that drain your energy, and the dreams you've ignored for too long. This awareness is the first step toward change. Reflection doesn't require a fancy setup. All you need is a little space, a little quiet, and a willingness to be honest with yourself. Writing is one of the most powerful tools for self-reflection. It slows down your thoughts and forces you to articulate what you're feeling. It lets you ask yourself the tough questions. What do I truly want in my life? What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What would my ideal day look like? I always advise people to write freely. Don't worry about grammar or structure. Just let your thoughts flow. The act of putting pen to paper is transformative in itself. Meditating is also a hack for reflection. It isn't about emptying your mind. It's about observing it. Sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes, focusing on your breath. When thoughts arise, notice them without judgment and let them pass. Over time, this practice helps you develop clarity and emotional resilience. Also, try to practice daily check-ins. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what went well today? What could I have done differently? How did I honor my goals or values today? These small acts of reflection build awareness over time, helping you make intentional choices instead of reacting to life's chaos. With these practices, you'll discover that reflection is like holding up a mirror to your life. It's not always easy to look into, but it reveals the truth, and that truth is your foundation for growth. You'll find that with time, you start to wonder what you really want and not what others expect from you. You'll discover what habits or relationships are holding you back or which ones are moving you forward. You'll also be able to come to terms with what you're afraid of. Most times, these fears are the invisible barriers keeping you from transformation. Reflection brings these elements to the surface where you can finally address them. It's uncomfortable at times, but discomfort is where growth happens. Reflection isn't just about awareness. It's about using that awareness to take action. Look at your life and choose 3 areas where you'd like to see change. Maybe it's your health, your relationships, or your career. Write them down. Start small. If your goal is to improve your health, commit to drinking more water or taking a daily walk. If you want to grow in your career, spend 15 minutes a day learning a new skill. Small steps create momentum. Use your journal to track how you're doing. Reflect on what's working, what's not, and how you can adjust. This keeps you accountable and focused. The ancient Stoics practiced daily reflection as a cornerstone of their philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, for example, used his journal to reflect on his thoughts, actions, and intentions. He wrote not for an audience but for himself, as a way to align his life with his values. You can do the same. At the start or end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? And why? How can I do better tomorrow? This isn't about self-criticism. It's about growth. By reflecting daily, you create a feedback loop that helps you make better choices over time. Think of reflection as polishing a mirror. When the mirror is covered in dust, it distorts your view. But as you clean it, bit by bit, the image becomes clearer. That mirror is your life. Reflection is how you remove the dust of doubt, distraction, and fear until you can see yourself clearly. Transformation requires honesty. It's easy to tell yourself comforting lies, to avoid facing the parts of your life that feel uncomfortable. But honesty is the foundation of growth. When you're willing to face the truth, no matter how messy it feels, you give yourself the power to change it. Reflection is your tool for honesty. It's how you strip away the noise and reconnect with what's real. I have a challenge for you. Dedicate 10 minutes today to reflection. Write, meditate, or simply sit in silence. Ask yourself one powerful question. What is one thing I need to let go of to move forward? Don't rush the answer. Sit with it, let it unfold, and trust that clarity will come. Rebuilding from the ground up. Disappearing and reflecting are the first steps. What comes next is the hard, deliberate work of rebuilding. This is where transformation truly begins. Not in sudden, sweeping changes, but in small, consistent actions that align your life with your values and goals. Think of your life as a house. For years, You've been piling things onto shaky foundations, other people's expectations, distractions, and habits that no longer serve you. To rebuild, you need to tear down what's unstable and construct something stronger, brick by brick. Transformation starts in the mind. If your thoughts remain rooted in old patterns, no amount of external change will last. Start by letting go of external validation. The need for constant approval is a cage that keeps you from true freedom. Ask yourself, if no one were watching, what would I do differently? Adopt a growth-oriented perspective. Mistakes aren't failures, they're lessons. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. The Stoic Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Practicing new habits can also help. Habits are the structure of your life. They dictate how you spend your time, energy, and attention. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you need habits that support your goals. Start with these foundational habits, like your morning routine. How you begin your day sets the tone for everything else. Create a routine that prioritizes clarity and focus. For example, wake up without checking your phone. Spend 10 minutes journaling or meditating. Move your body, even if it's just a short stretch or walk. Plan your day with intention. Your body is the engine of your transformation. Treat it well. Eat nourishing whole foods and stay hydrated. Also, prioritize sleep. Quality rest is non-negotiable. Growth requires learning. Dedicate time each day to improving a skill or exploring a passion. This doesn't have to be for work or anyone else. Choose something that excites and challenges you. Rebuilding your life means protecting your energy. Say no to things that drain you, and yes to the things that align with your values. Remember, every yes is a no to something else. Once your mindset and habits are in place, it's time to connect with your why. Purpose is the roof that protects and gives meaning to everything you've built. To find your purpose, reflect on these questions. What brings me joy? What challenges am I willing to endure for the sake of growth? How can I use my strengths to make an impact? Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to matter to you. Maybe it's raising a family, creating art, or building a career you're proud of. Purpose gives direction to your actions and helps you navigate challenges with resilience. Transformation isn't a single event. It's a process of daily commitment. Small actions repeated consistently create big results over time. To put this in perspective, let's use the stories of Oprah. Before becoming a media mogul, Oprah faced countless rejections and setbacks. Her success didn't happen overnight. It was the result of years of consistent effort and self-belief. Try to think of your life a year from now if you start today. The small changes you make now could lead to a completely different reality. Rebuilding your life is like tending to a garden. First, you clear out the weeds, distractions, bad habits, and limiting beliefs. Then you plant seeds, new habits, goals, and values. Finally, you nurture those seeds with consistent effort and care. At first, the changes might seem small, almost invisible. But over time, with patience and persistence, your garden will flourish. Rebuilding is hard work. It requires discipline, patience, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. But the reward is worth it. A life that feels authentic, purposeful, and aligned with who you truly are. Start today. Choose one habit to build, one mindset shift to embrace, or one boundary to set. Focus on progress, not perfection, and remember, rebuilding doesn't happen overnight, but every brick you lay brings you closer to the life you deserve. The journey you've taken from disappearing to transforming isn't easy. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But the reward is undeniable. A life that feels aligned, purposeful, and authentically yours. Now it's your turn. What's one step you can take today to begin your transformation? Maybe it's taking a break from social media, starting a journal, or dedicating time to reflect on your goals. Whatever it is, commit to it. I challenge you to disappear, not forever, but for long enough to reset, refocus, and reconnect with yourself. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to commit to your journey. Write "I'm ready" in the comments as a sign of your decision to step back and transform. And remember, the world doesn't need a louder version of you. It needs the truest version of you, the version that's aligned, focused, and unapologetically authentic. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more empowering content like this. Stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.